homekeeping, scheduling, and calendars. This is a disaster area, and we've been fighting with it our entire life. If you're a productive individual, you will have spent your life going, how do I schedule my day to optimize my workflow and create a sense of balance and harmony in my existence? It's really challenging, in my opinion, when you're a spiritual teacher or an athlete or something, because you're always taking huge hits on the body or on the soul, and it doesn't integrate like our HOD brain that's built to create structure and order, doesn't integrate Netzach and our feelings and our emotions and all the Gebra Mars going down and jolting through Netzach and destroying HOD. So we might end up creating a plan, another plan, another plan, and we'll spend 5 hours creating a calendar, and then it's out the window the minute reality hits. And then you feel like a failure. Because you go, I couldn't even get done, like, I couldn't remember the milk at the grocery store. When I went to go buy everything, okay? So there's these crazy thoughts in our head that prevent a structured sense of reality to help us move forward and actually optimize our productivity. And so that's what we're gunning for today. There are a few things I've done in my life to help, not master, but maybe they're seeds of wisdom. I'm very type A-esque, or I try to be. I think type A is a virtue that I aspire to. And then I hear somebody go, you're so full of shit, your life's a mess, and you're dealing with knife rape. Okay, well, every magician or master is going to be dealing with the chaos and of infinity and disaster forever. Hypocrite, psycho. Oh, I forgot that I don't actually deal with anything real. Okay, and then I hear another voice going, Cully-Ren, just stop. Okay, so you guys are not Ravenclaw. Cully-Ren, just stop. Okay, so you stopped yourself. We don't want to hear your psychotic rhetoric. Oh my fucking God. I never learned how to listen. There should be a sense of self-awareness right now if you were one of those people. You need to rewire your brain right now to take in higher levels of thought and consciousness, to develop a sense of mastery and discipline over your paradigm. Now, your entire paradigm is every single incident on the planet. Every single one of them. Every kid getting raped. Every whale that is getting skewered. Every seal that is being poached for their coat. Every elephant that dies. 55 elephants die a day. Okay, so somebody just developed the self-awareness that they have no mastery in anything. Mind blown. Please rewire your brain right now. All right. Homekeeping. It is a very wise practice, in my opinion, that I do not do my work if I do not have a clean or orderly space to do it. It's better when my bed's made, the dishes are done, my computer is cleaned, there are no files on my desktop, my email inbox is up to date. Okay, so I'm hearing just ginormous resistance from you guys because you're all psychos and probably just filled with disaster area. And that's why you're going, Kali Ren, just stop. Like a psychopath. You have to get your work done in life. You need to create a daily and monthly schedule and calendar to be able to produce everything. Life does not pass you by because you can't pay your bill or you missed your email that was important. Okay, like life does not stop because you got knife raped. It only piles up and gets worse. Oh, I got knife. Oh, like, oh, poor you got knife raped. You have 3 months of laundry that you haven't fucking done yet. So now you can roll out of bed and get your laundry done. And then it's gonna take 3 weeks to get it done. And then you won't even have enough time to deal with all of your emails to even go get a job to pay the bills that you couldn't get paid for 9 months. So life moves forward no matter how fucked you are. Your home gets taken out by a tornado. Thanks for that story, Stacy. How much did Stacy's life shut down into an icicle prison because everything collapsed in on her so that she was safe from reality? So that's the consciousness that creates more victim. So you don't want to get on top of your own shit? Peace out. You want to be ascendio and master? You deal with the knife rape. and you figure out how to create the schedule to push forward. Life. The first one's empowering 0. I want to withdraw from everything and pretend life doesn't exist. And then cry myself to sleep and then everything's unfair and I can't, like, nah. Or you learn how to pick yourself up. Because you got through Gabriel, you can pick yourself up. You go, I know how to take that hardship and fly, make it smarter and better. Or you don't. But if you don't belong in Ravenclaw. You at the highest you belong in Gryffindor. Okay, so where you're still learning about discipline and engaging in the warfare and creating healthy boundaries. That's where you belong. Maybe you belong in Hufflepuff. In reality, that's probably more the case. But a Ravenclaw has to order their entire mind and reality on 500 layers or more to get across the abyss. That's the order level mental bodies, is 500. Self-awareness, that person's now going, I'm way out of my league. Okay, so Ravenclaw is like baby. This one, CHESED is like baby Bina. So the difference between Irene Adler, like if Hermione married Maleficent, it would be like a magical Irene Adler. Okay, and then Kali Ma would be Maleficent. Everything in Irene's closet looks impeccable. The way she presents herself, her words, her demeanor, her makeup, it's all flawless. How does she do that? That's the goal. She's able to take on sociopaths, and everything is still flawless. And then stupid people come back to me and go, well, that's because she's a sociopath. No, Irene is not a sociopath. Irene has passed Tiferet. It's like saying Jesus is a sociopath, so Jesus can present a miracle. You guys are really not ready. Like health and fitness, yeah. Homekeeping, order, and schedule, you guys are like tapped out. Ooh, mental body number 4. Tapped, and like Kelly's like, yeah, sign me up. Like, I need to get this installed so I know how to deal with life. Like, me and Kelly, we're gonna be poor and homeless, and like no man's gonna save us or our children, and we're gonna figure this out together. So we'll bind and create a team and work. Nobody's coming. The whole point of Ravenclaw is understanding no man is coming to help you. At all. With anything. That's like you have to step into your master. Nobody's coming. Nobody's coming to pay your bills. Nobody's coming to listen to you. Nobody's coming to serve you. Nobody's coming for anything. Like, you have to do it. And you should have figured that out after you passed Gaebera. And then the self-awareness develops and the hunger begins. Oh my God, I have to get on top of my own shit. And then things can start to flow. Let's begin. In Gaebera, you're in constant self-defense mode. I need to do this. I need to do that. It's survival. It's just like Yoda Balls, 8 hours a day of Yoda Balls pages. Maybe I can get on my walk and then do the dragon, like anything just to survive and get through. Boundary. So it's sloppy and shitty and it's everything. Boundary on this person, boundary on that thought form, boundary on this like paradox equation that I know is going to lead to me getting stabbed in the knee, boundary to this, boundary to that. Period. That's all Gaebera is. I'm going to take a hit here and a hit there, and then I'm going to get strong. Because like Triss in Dauntless, in the movie Divergent, getting beaten to death as like they aren't holding back. They don't care if you're a poor, weak woman. They will skewer you. Gaebera. Ravenclaw. I know about Gaebera. So I need to learn, one, how to support all the people going through Gaebera, like really the good guys or good women. But I also need to learn how to master my own shit. And continue to develop into the higher divine mysteries. Because that's the component of mastery. So I'm always playing the Gaebera or the Bina. Gaebera, Bina. Gaebera, Bina. All day long, every day. Kelly, come give me healings while I'm in the bottom of the Clippeth. So I'm in Gaebera and she's in HOMECARE. Yeah. How do I do that? Kali Ma, give me the teaching or the wisdom of how do I give you this healing to make you move forward? Because I'm Ravenclaw, so I'm supposed to be smart, and I should be able to jump into higher planes and leave the galaxy if I have to bring back 50 mental bodies while you're in the middle of war, so that when we go to Ravenclaw, we can move forward. Instead of you just getting downloads half-ass, in the moment. And I'll go totally schizo and end up in jail because of it. But then when I come back, Kali Ren will remember that I got the 50 mental bodies download so that she can move us forward together. We can do it together. Oh my God. Because I went and space traveled. just so we could survive. So that was Kelly. Well, we were in Gabriela, as she is Archangel Zadkiel. Okay. Humans live on a daily basis. It's better when you have a daily practice that is consistent and it's a ritualistic lifestyle. When you're always in Gabriela, getting to that level is challenging because you're at triage. When we have an established Gryffindor school and there's an entire society and a community with supportive Ravenclaws and Aurors and ministry, etc., it will be much different, but it's still somewhat the same. In the Ashtanga yoga practice, you are to do your practice every day, except for moon days and Saturdays. So new moons, full moons, and Saturdays. So my workouts, I should think of as the same way. And my work. Now the problem with that is as an Auror, I'm doing more work on Saturdays. We'll find out. We're not all the same. Okay, so all I hear are hesitancies and excuses from everybody right now, instead of graciousness and openness and willing to shift their behavior patterns. Like, I'm feeling we want to control you from everybody instead of, oh my God, I have to open the space to move forward with my life. So that's where we probably need to burn something. We need to burn all the contracts and false agreements with ourselves in that mental body. Like every single thing that creates a sense of hesitancy around creating homekeeping, calendar, and schedule maintenance. Because there's just so much crap. So we're going to throw all of that into the lava. Until we get to an emotional space with our mind, I want to be able to get everything done in a timely, productive, stable, and healthy way. So there was a delusion that I was carrying that I needed to be in reactive mode or responsive mode about everything. And I had to reframe my entire schedule. And I used Irene to help me. Because instead of looking like a crazy, frantic woman, producing this and this and this and this, and I worked out 5 hours today and did 10 hours of Yoda balls, and the next day I crash. And then I feel like shit. And it's all Gabera. Irene, when we get to that space, goes 3 hours of the bookwork a day at the max. One dragon egg a day. I work on that dragon that day. And then I work 1 hour for my design job. And then I get 1 meditation video done a day. Bite-size things. Every day consistently, or 5 to 6 days a week. And I, instead of cram my schedule in fear mode, so it's like underselling what I am capable of doing. Under schedule instead of double book. If I can do more in that day, awesome. But that gives me time to integrate and feel valuable at the same time. I am Hermione. You need to understand. I am the woman that would literally time travel and take 3 layers of extra classes, 3 rings of time to accomplish everything I want. And it's psycho. And that was the best lesson in Harry Potter that anybody could offer. Is Hermione with the time turner was a psycho. Irene, on the other hand, is sophisticated, regimented, and mature. So it's undersell. Undersell yourself to yourself, not to other people. I've worked in Hollywood, in the fashion photography business. I've worked at BuzzFeed, so I know what it feels like to be always in demand and completely overworked. At a high rate. So, here are my tips. You might want to write them down, maybe not. In the morning, I will spend my first hour making coffee so I can wake up because I'm okay? In that hour, I will try to do the dishes and make my bed. And then maybe sweep or tidy up in the first hour because my brain is not operating at, I can do all my office work right now. It's just in like, I'm just like a troll. I'll dilly-dally and do this and this and this. Oh my God, if you get knife raped, you still have to sweep the floors. Otherwise, you're stepping on dirty shit all day. Yeah, like, that's life. That's life. or my laundry is stinking up the home, or so you have to develop a sense of maturity around like home. Your home. So even when I was homeless and living out of my suitcase, I would keep my stuff in like this impeccable order and make sure everything was, I didn't look like a crazy homeless person with a cart where everything just looked like a pile of trash. Oh my God. No, like everything was accessible. Everything was to get cleaned on time, weekly. And then I hear all of you, we can't live like that. We can't live where everything's cleaned weekly. Oh my God. Psycho. You have not created the schedule to enable it. All right, so my first hour is that. My next hour is getting on my computer and doing it to my computer, and my desktop, and my emails, and my files, and my Facebook posts, whatever I need. Okay, so the first 2 hours of my day. Now that includes like driving and going to the office. It would be me cleaning up my desk, wiping it down, and receiving all my emails and getting my to-do list ready for the day. And I would never have a 500,000 email inbox, ever. I was a recruiting coordinator and I would receive 400 emails a day. And I'd be trying to create 20 to 50 interviews a week for the recruiter. So I learned like if I don't have my emails up to date, things fall through and people get pissed off at me. So clean email inbox. Laundry. Friday nights. Pick a day, or I used to do it Sunday afternoon. Pick a day and do it no matter what. And then stay on a weekly schedule. And maybe you do your kids' laundry or your husband's or whatever. And then you might have to do 2 days of laundry. And then if you have children with dirty clothes, maybe you do it twice a week for your kids. Monday in the morning and Wednesday in the morning. That would have been very easy for my sister. My sister was a psychopath, and she would let the kids' clothes pile up, and there'd be a giant pile in the garage of the kids' clothes instead of doing it twice a week at a manageable capacity. Now, what happens when everything clutters up in life? Then there is no room. There is no room for you to produce, and you shut down instead. Okay. I then, in those 2 hours, am receiving all the creative downloads for everything I'm going to write in all my classes. This is my schedule. This is how I work. But it's fruitful when Lucifer's like whispering stuff in my ear and making me crack up, or Mother Andromeda's trying to show me something that's funny. And then I have a note-keeping section of all my classes that I'm currently producing on my computer, that when I get those downloads, I can go and type them. And that will be my first hour of the morning. So maybe now 3 hours have passed by. Now I have video production. So 2 hours, 3 hours of that early part of the morning now is actually folded in to the productiveness of the day, because I got those downloads while I was ready and available to receive them. And nothing is wasted. Okay. Next, I usually have to do a design work. And I'm building a catalog on top of everything else. And I can't get my brain to do it. I don't want to go do my design work on top of all this video production. Then I'm sitting on a computer with all my crazy, frantic thoughts in my head, and I don't even know this is huge project. And I forgot to break it into bite-sized pieces that I can then go after my video production and do one thing a day in a bite-sized piece. Okay? So those crazy projects that just overwhelm you, bite-sized piece. 1 bite a day. If you're doing it as your entire job, 1 bite an hour or something like that, or a segment of a day. The next is my workout. And the books. Now, I already talked to you about the Yoda Balls books. I'm trying to get my A&R marks done as fast as possible. And at first, I was like, I need everything now, instead of 3 hours a day. Because I know what happens on the planet when I do that work. So then I think I have to do all of it now. Okay. So Irene Adler is a dignified Hermione. And there's more class that comes with it. More sustainable for the long haul. My workout is like, I go for my walk, run, and then I can't get myself to get on the yoga mat or to do my leg exercises. And so Misty comes through yesterday and she goes, don't do anything. when you get home other than getting on that mat. Because the minute you get off of your workout round, then you're out. Check out. So you don't interrupt your regime or regimen, and you actually get it done instead. And it's really about cutting out the psycho and creating the time and space to do what you need to do. Other than reacting to the reptile plans of delusions in the brain. Scheduling. That first hour in the morning keeps everything kind of neat and tidy around the home. But you need one day a month where you do the mopping on the floor and some of the other stuff. If it takes you an entire day to mop and wash your floors, then that's your project. Okay? One day. The new moon is my favorite. And so I don't schedule anything on that day ever. It doesn't matter how much I'm trying to cram in. What's going to happen is I'm going to do all of my other work and I'm going to backlog washing my floor. Because I'm going to go psycho. So the floor gets done on the new moon or it doesn't get done. And then maybe you go, it's the Saturday. Some of you might go, it's my Saturday right near the new moon. And that's fine. Stuff like that. Now the deep cleaning of the home, where you definitely redo your linens and you wipe down and dust once, it's like the equinox or the solstice. So once every quarter for a real deep, deep clean. And then you take that day and you mark it off your calendar. And then there are other magic holidays. For me, it's the dragon initiations on September 17th. This is my holy day. So that day, I'm going to be building a necklace or necklaces for my people. And that's all I do that day. And that is a healthy Gabriel in life, in working reality. What happens with HOMECARE women is they overwork and they have zero self-value. So they don't actually structure themselves well to be able to produce higher value product. Clothes and attire. I don't feel bad dressing like a ninja when I'm sitting behind a computer all day long. I dress in my black pants with my black ballet pants with my black sweater, and I'm a ninja. Okay. Even if I was in an office job, I'd be in nice pants or in jeans with a good sweater, and I'd stay very consistent and simple. Because we're still in humility working mode, and I stay with high quality organic materia that will last, that fits well and suits my face and my body structure, instead of spend crazy amounts of money or time or energy trying to like be a fashion model. I wish that I could look like these magazine ladies with their long, beautiful hair and their flowy dresses and their high priestess, and they look like goddesses. God, do I wish that. But that's not the reality of the scenario. And I have bigger issues. So I'm kind of more a Steve Jobs type of girl. And even if I was like that, I'd be more like Callan, who has the white cape over like strapped jeans or pants, where she can do ninja level work but still simplify. Less is more. I have a nice bed. And then you can have texture and some decor, but minimal. The more clutter, the worse. Clutter is like clutter in your cells. Simplify and health. It's like trying to make your smoothies too complicated, so then you go crazy and you don't even do them. Instead of go spinach and raspberries. Ice, blend. Maybe I add some milk. Maybe I add some water or lemon juice. Okay. I went through hell. The only way I can repair and rebuild is beginning to conquer my outer reality. And that includes schedule and maintenance and life. It does not include me wasting away, crying myself to sleep, or not wanting to get out of bed. It's me learning how to rise above everything so that I can make Isla a Ravenclaw. Because I also know what could happen if, like, Isla's twin is a psychopath and then she gets hit by a train because I can't even educate her and elevate her. So it's my job to be able to educate and elevate unconditionally to all of them. So that life doesn't hit them sideways, especially as we undergo the earth cataclysmic events ahead of us. All right. Calendar, schedule, and homekeeping. I'm trying to see if there is anything left. That. There are two. Nonsense. We're going to weed out the nonsense component out of our mental body. So I went through my phone and I got all the downloads. I went through my Facebook posts, all the pictures back to last August, because I'm missing files of artwork. And I find a picture of Ray I want to use for my post on Facebook for the download I just received. Now my phone's in that room and my computer's here, and I am now Google searching that picture of Ray that I want to use, and I'm going, why can't I find it? And I waste like 10 minutes of my time and energy doing psycho stuff instead of going to my phone and emailing that picture of Ray to my computer. That's a psycho. When I did that, Mother Andromeda came through and she goes, do you see how you stepped out of the grid? When you were retrieving all those downloads, that was a necessary thing and action to do. And you were in flow and intelligence, retrieving. And then when you sat at your computer and scatterbrain start searching for stuff, you stepped out of reality and into psychosis land. The next is, my brain says it's really smart to make sure that I have everything backed up. And I have my hard drive and it's in my backpack. So now I need to figure out in my brain when I'm going to start backing stuff up. And that should be in the first hour of the morning, along with the maintenance. So now I've built a system that I can start to appropriate new laws into. So it's building the foundation to start building a program. When I schedule, I can then fuel in new reality. The next component is, why were these pinpoints not written down? I have a very good memory, but on video, I should not be going, was there anything left that I wanted to add? I should have had a picture icon written with every key point. or have it written down. Why am I hearing somebody say this person was just confessed? Okay. So there are too many people who think they've even passed HODE that haven't come close. How are you a master of me? You're saying I'm confessed? How are you my authority in any respect? Oh, I have 0. Okay, so if you have 0 authority in any respect, you're going around thinking and telling people they're confessed, or even in the astral selves, like that's because you're confessed. And because you're gonna start sending that shit around to other real confessors because okay. And they're gonna hear you. So an ascended master doesn't go around pointing fingers at confessors, telling them that they're confessed. But I don't think you're a real confessor. Okay, so nobody cleaned out the clipeth at all, except for me and Kelly for 9 months with little girls. Oh my God, how does that make you a confessor? Okay, so I achieved 0 shadow by cleaning out the bottom of the clipeth. Oh my God, I have no education. Yes, you don't even pass HODE. You're telling somebody who has 50,000 hours of education, training, and development that they are a confessed person without having any accurate pinpoint as to why. Don't do it. You're gonna get yourself slaughtered. You're gonna piss off very intelligent people as they are trying to produce miracle service work for the planet. Not for you, you're a dick. They're trying to produce it for the children that are T-Ferret level and above, or for the dolphins and the whales, and the planet, and the fauna, and the flora, and the fairies in the ether. And I'm hearing, I'm so psycho. Yeah. Times 100. Okay. We're at an hour just doing the explanation. But you need the teaching surrounding homekeeping. Like, my hair looks like crap. I didn't take a shower yesterday. And so it's all, and just that. I shouldn't be going a day without taking a shower. At all. Ever. It doesn't matter if I'm drowning in work. I should be able to go on a workout, on a run, and then take a shower. afterwards. And it's simple. But I did wash my face and I brushed my teeth. So I feel okay. All right. Ravenclaw is Cinderella. Because you've spent your life cleaning up after everybody and mastering organization and cleaning. So you should have this system developed. All right. Okay, day 2. So by now, you're realizing that we have to develop and find a way to deal with all of this and this within our current space. And then our space within the planet. Somebody's saying they're really good with the second one, but not the first one. Yeah. And then I'm good with the first and the second one. I'm working on the third. That will happen when we create Sora and then build the organic farms and land rehabilitation, etc., and then develop the magic to be able to clean up water and purify everything. Okay. So I have like a million objects in front of me. Not a million, but I like to create to-do lists that are tangible and have a storyline that are attached to them. So I will have a product or an icon so that I can deliver the message that is the teaching that is required. Now, I am a master at home care. I have been a personal assistant. I have over 10,000 hours in home care, maintenance, hacks, personal assistant, in-home care, with child care, dog care, etc. I am Martha fucking Stewart. Everybody would want to be me in home care as a millennial and not as Martha Stewart. The way that I actually manage and organize everything is simpler and cleaner and less expensive, period. Now, the first item that I am thinking about right now are spices. I will just use this. You want to burn sage? Make it yourself. Make your magic sage yourself. Go get the $2 or 2 pound sage at the farmer's market on a new moon or some other time, and then create a rack in your refrigerator for herb drying. Just wipe out one rack. This is for herb drying. And then either a cloth, a towel, or a paper towel. And you lay it out and you dry it out over a month. You're going to do this with thyme, rosemary, dill, whatever you cook with in life. and then you're going to dry it out. Now with the sage, every month you do it again. With the rest of them, you put them in little jars. I like to do, I get the little jars that are store-bought from the grocery store, and I take off the tags, and I just have these clear glass bottles. So it cost me nothing other than an hour of my time. And then I put them on the shelf, and I know which herb is in each bottle because my brain is intelligent. So I know the difference between marjoram and oregano based off of me developing my senses and my sight to be able to identify the difference. These are lessons in mastery of discernment. And I keep them spaced out. Feng shui, we do not have cups touching cups. We do not have cups touching walls. Everything is spaced out. You have a few cups and a few plates and a few pots and pans, and that's it. Nothing fancy. You have like 4 to 8. If you have kids, you have 8. The more stuff you have, the more it clutters everything up. Period. Now I'm going to talk about tea. Loose leaf tea, and buy a Japanese teapot. It's an expensive investment, and it's worth every penny. It is better than buying tea in boxes that waste and take from the planet. And if you want to put those teas in a teapot, it's $100 to buy a nice one. And it's worth every penny, and there is magic in it. Now, as a healer or a shaman, before every single person that would come to visit me at my apartment, I would clean everything. The floors would be clean if it was a ceremony or a Kabbalah class. My kitchen would be impeccable. My bed would be made, my linens would be done, etc. People would come and sit at my bar as I would make them tea, and they would unload for an hour. Maybe I might make them coffee. They would unload for an hour. Unload. 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 Okay, now the soul work can begin. Maybe 2 hours have passed by, maybe 3, and now they're melting. So the tea is a ceremony and a gift and a healing to offer those people. Star never did that, ever. You listen, and you wait, and you serve. And you buy nice little teacups. I would buy an assortment of teas. 1, 2, 3, dried chamomile, women's tea, mint basil tea, Tulsi Delight, peace tea, and I would have them in glass canisters, clean and orderly. So when they arrived, when this person, the client, the student arrived, they could pick from the tea, or I could see which tea would light up and go, this is really what they need right now. Maybe they need a detox tea, etc. It's really important when you're doing spiritual work to open them. And it's the perfect ceremony to do it. All right. So we have herbs, teas, enough with the kitchen stuff. You don't understand. All right. Sage. Now, I do a sage smudge once a month with the magic dried sage from the previous month. Sometimes you might want to double bulk it so you can put dried sage into your little glass canisters. All right, the next level. Composting. Some people have their own compost bucket in their backyard. You might want to have 4 segments of a rotating compost, or you have one giant compost. You can research. That's another like $300, and it's worth every penny. Or you might have a service in your neighborhood because you live in a hipster community where they have food waste canisters out in your front yard with the trash cans. Okay, so that's what we have right now. Or you live on a farm and you just have a wood pit where you can just throw everything into. Either way, it's fine. One nice looking compost bowl at your kitchen sink, up on the ledge or the side. Now the problem is it collects flies. So we just put a pot or something over it. The biggest thing is you need to throw it out every day. Every day. Once a day. Because otherwise it definitely collects flies, even with the lids. Fruit flies that crawl through the cracks. And it stinks everything up. Groceries. Let's start talking about the refrigerator. Your refrigerator and your freezer should be cleaned out. No crazy dressings that are 3 years old that you will never use and you never have used. Everything should be cleaned. So I spend every Saturday or once a week or once a month cleaning out the rotten food or the bad mess. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes. Clean it out. Like, end the clutter in your refrigerator. It's gross. It's fucking gross. You have a guest come over. If you're a healer, or if you're a magician or a witch, or a teacher, and people come over and see your cluttered refrigerator, they go, like, it fucks their brain up. When they see it looking simple and ordered, they go, oh, sense of peace. Oh, this person has their, like, stuff together. Okay. Groceries. There are a number of things. I prefer shopping at co-ops and farmers markets, but that is never available when I am like a homeless person, couch surfing, etc., etc. You can get really inexpensive produce anywhere in life. You just have to learn how to take care of it so that it's digestible and eatable. All right, my mother is a psycho, just so everybody knows. My mother is a psycho. But there are 30 things that she did really well in home management that helped me in my upbringing. So forget the idea I lived off of TV dinners and spaghetti. Okay. Processed food from the 90s. The other half of it was that my mother would buy produce and then prepare it and set it on the counter. So that when I came home from school, the first thing I grabbed was an apple or an apricot or something. That's my brain trigger. A banana. I'm hungry, banana, instead of going to my cupboard and getting Oreos. Okay. So my mother did that very well. Buy a whole lot of produce and set it out. So it's visible and reachable. Because that's the first thing my brain does. What's reachable? This doesn't do so well. And let me tell you why. It has a stick on it and a seed inside. So my brain, when I'm lazy, goes, I don't want to deal with the cherries, so I'll stick bread in my mouth instead. So the best way to deal with cherries is to actually, when you buy your cherries, take the sticks out and the seeds out, and it's opened cherries. Strawberries are fine, although if you cut them up, it makes it even nicer. Melon, cut up. Peaches and nectarines, fine. Apples, fine. Bananas, fine. Oranges, fine. Grapes. Every single grape that doesn't get eaten was the one that you did not rip off the grape stem and wash it and make it look perfect to be eaten. I've done experiments where I've bought grapes and put them in a bowl and left them out to be eaten. And I had washed them, but they were still on the stem. And only half of the grapes get eaten, or even a third. The ones that look good. This is so psycho, but it's true. And then I've done experiments where I've de-pronged every single grape, and every single grape gets eaten that was purchased within 2 days. This is important. Masters do not waste energy. They do not waste Mother Earth's energy. They do not waste other people's energy. They do not waste time. So what they do is they buy all their groceries and then they take 2 to 3 hours prepping everything and put it out. Mind blown. Cat. I am Martha Stewart, but I am not Martha Stewart. I am a poor girl that might have nieces or I'm a poor girl that might have people visiting, or I might have a poor friend with 2 children. Okay, crock pot. Crock pot. A big one at least this big. And 3 days a week, there is something in that crock pot cooking or being prepared. I'm sorry. 3 different dishes a week. The first one is black beans with peppers and stuff. The second is chicken soup with cheap drum bones. Cooking so you have bone broth. And you get it free range organic. If you're a vegan, onion vegetables soup, something like that. But you create a soup or a dish that is crockpot worthy, and you rearrange it. And there's always prepped black beans that are warm, that are accessible and available to your children or your guests. It's okay if it's sitting in the crock pot cooking for a couple days and staying warm. It's still good. It's not diseased or unhealthy. No one has ever gotten sick. No diarrhea, no nothing. No bacteria, like, these are like healthy gut bacteria, if anything. Nobody gets sick after eating from my home. Okay. Groceries. I need to talk to you about grocery bags. Definitely have your own grocery bag, and it shouldn't look like this. It should be those cloth bags that won't break at all cost. And you buy 2 or 3 of them, and you make them, make them into your magic bags. Every piece of food that I put into this bag is getting me across the abyss, getting my children across the abyss. So I bought 3 rainbow bags. So we're getting the rainbow bridge DNA with every piece of food we put into that bag and purchase. It's a total brain rewire. Now let's talk about greens and plastic bags. Everybody knows that if you do not put the carrots or your beets or your greens into a plastic bag and then roll it up, that it will go bad within 2 to 3 days. So you need a plastic bag. Now they get dirty and you want to throw them away because it gets leaves on the inside. So then you flip it and you clean it from the outside. The whole point about reality is that you minimize literally every inch of karmic footprint of your entire existence. So like, it's dirty here. So I'm gonna wipe it. Let's talk about other hacks of the kitchen and daily maintenance. When you wake up in the morning, you have your pink salt water with hints of lemon juice before you do anything else. This hydrates all of your cells. The salt helps the hydration in every inch of your body and brain and hair, and the lemon juice helps clean. This will also help clean out your small intestines. where most leaky gut begins. Now, the better way to do it is garlic at night. And then that helps the other leaky gut component is you actually have the garlic cut up and you either put it in a pill or you swallow it, and then it begins to repair the tears in your gut. And cayenne pepper helps to heal your stomach lining and also help repair the leaky gut and also help clean out any parasite. The salt water with a little hint of lemon, it's kind of tasty. Like, it's not an issue. It's developed. You just develop, and then you can have your coffee afterward. Next, coffee. You guys are psychos. Starbucks coffee, the amount of money I have spent at Starbucks or Coffee Bean or any other hipster psycho place, or even just Pret in London. Okay, the amount of time and energy I have spent getting crappy coffee that doesn't even taste good is bizarro. I have never made coffee for anybody in my sphere of influence that has ever complained about my coffee being gross. Ever. I make Vietnamese coffee, butter coffee, cappuccinos, caramel macchiatos, and we're going to cover the caramel macchiato, and it takes me 5 fucking minutes. And I spend almost nothing, unless I'm doing caramel macchiatos, then I'm spending a little bit more. Okay, so the time, money, and energy wasted on you guys floundering is... I can live off of $20,000 a year and have higher quality everything than almost every one of you guys with $100K salary or more. With most of that money going to workout classes that are high price, like Cirque School at $35 a class. Okay. You buy your beans. I like buying the bean that has the color for the current Sephrith we're working on. So this one had a blue tag, and it's the teaching is union. Okay? And then I get a French press, and then we're done. I might get a can of condensed milk with my French press coffee, and I have a Vietnamese shot, and it cost me $1 for an entire day's worth of coffee, and it took me 5 minutes. Okay? And it tastes better than a Frappuccino built at Starbucks. Next, the caramel macchiato. There are three things you need to buy other than your coffee. You need to buy a giant caramel tub from like Ghirardelli or something, and it will cost you $30. And it's the thick caramel cream. If you could find an organic one, yeah. All right. The next is the coffee flavor liqueur. Monin has the best organic one. So Monin Organic. And that's like 15 to 20 bucks. And then you need almond milk, because we want to be vegetarian. And then you have ice. And you have coffee. Okay. So you take a cup and you pour in the Monin Organic, the Monin liqueur up to here. All right. And then you pour in the almond milk with the ice up to here. And then you pour in the coffee up to here. And then the caramel syrup, you put it on, and then you stick a straw in. And then you have a 10 times better organic version of a caramel macchiato than Starbucks could ever make, with better tasting everything. Seriously. When you buy the big tub, you do not pour it in to your coffee. You pour it into an empty honey bottle that's like a little bear. And then, so now you have the bear that is filled with caramel syrup. So it looks cute and it's fun for kids. And now it's your squeeze tool. And then you put the giant tub in your cupboard. Okay, next. I'm hearing, your shadow is nothing. That is accurate. Like, you guys, there is something in astrology called like the par of fortune or the place of fortune. Mine is in home and work. Not in romance, in home and work. And this is really important in my life, to be a master at home and work. Because if I can master that, everything else is easy. Laundry. This is one of the few good laundry detergents out there. Simple. This one or the lavender one. There is a brand in the United States that looks like this, but is better. Okay. I'm going to talk about hand washables, because this is what freaks out everyone for infinity. I have those Benetton wool sweaters and I have to wash them. And like if I put them in the washing machine, they shrink into nothing. And so it ruins it. So what do I do with hand washables? Now, I also have fancy cotton dresses. Let me show you. This is like one of them. I'm wondering where my other one is, but we will find out. Okay, so these like cotton dresses, When I buy dresses, I don't buy cheap polyester stuff. I will spend $100 on a cotton dress that will last me for 5 years and look classy. And I like the ones where they have pockets and I can put stuff in them. Okay, so these cotton dresses get dirty and I can't do anything. And I have those sweaters and I can't do anything. I can't wash them and I have no space and I have an apartment this big and oh my God, hand washing, bathtub. Everything goes into the bathtub and then I put the laundry detergent in the bathtub and I soak it over a course of a day. Wash it and then I put it and I wrap it in towels. And I squeeze out everything. Puffer jackets. Same thing. I was really afraid the first time I washed this that I would ruin it. It stinks because I work out in this puffer jacket. And I was afraid I would lose like the down capacity inside. Same thing. Same thing. Bathtub. And then wrap it in your towels that you can then throw into your laundry. All right. Dishes. I hate doing dishes. Okay. I hate it. So I'm going to do dishes when I'm boiling water for coffee. There are 2 hacks about dishes that need to be discussed. One is that the dishes should be soaking from overnight. So anything at dinner or lunch, okay, that should have been soaking for at least 10 hours in water in the sink. And I like to start the soak at night. And then in the morning, I wake up and I do them. Some people don't like doing that, going to bed with bad dishes. It's whatever. The hotter the water, the faster I can do them. I'm a poor person. I don't have a dishwasher. Okay. I'm sorry, even if I had a dishwasher with children, I would still do it this way. 1 hour every morning when I'm cleaning up everything. Because I waste less water and nothing gets cluttered and nothing goes psycho. So less is more. The hotter the water, the faster it goes. Okay, so then you need this. And then you're not like afraid. I want to do the dishes. Okay, put on your fucking gloves and do the dishes. So it's a mind thing. Same thing with washing floors. Put on the gloves and wash the floor. Trash. Just like the compost. The trash and recycle should be taken out every day. Every day. It's psycho to have it cluttered in your space. It's a backlog. It's like not taking a shit for 2 days. Constipation. Energetic flow backlog. Sandals. Sandals at your door. I don't want to go outside and take out the trash. I have to put on my shoes. Keep these at your door so that you can throw them on. All right. Dishes and broken objects. I just broke a dish. Ah, God, the money. Forget the fucking money. Forget the money. Okay. That's a magic and a broken pattern. The first thing I need to do is clean up everything and not leave anything. Okay, so anything broken is an emergency, and it doesn't matter how busy you are or if you're going to miss an appointment, you need to clean it up. It's a danger, it's a hazard, 100%. So then, like, when you come to clean it up the second time, maybe you find another piece of glass that was hidden somewhere else. But I would have one little broom, a little broom with a little dustpan that makes it very easy for me to just clean up everything in 5 minutes. The more time you hesitate in doing right action, the more time that you are in psycho land. Charging. Everything should be in a charging port in the daytime or overnight. You should have one section. Keys. My whole life, I would buy a hook and put my keys on that hook when I got home, and I would install it in the wall next to the door or next to the kitchen. Rubber bands. I keep collecting rubber bands and I get really psychoed out. Like, what do I recycle everything? So I just start to make rubber band balls. I start tying knots and I make the rubber band balls because I don't know what else to do with them. That's kind of the joke one. All right, let's talk about bathroom. All right, I have this one wrinkle on my forehead. This has been here since I was 24, since I was 22 probably. It never goes away. I call it my Botox wrinkle. But I don't have like other wrinkles on my face. Like I might have this one. Okay, so like my skin is actually quite youthful. And okay. Scrub. Once a day, once every couple days. Just buy shampoo that you like on your body also, and then do it like a scrub. It's the next. Teeth. There's this stuff called Periomed. It costs $80. This bottle costs $80. This is 2 or 3 years old now, okay? So I don't use it very much, but it rebuilds the enamel on your teeth overnight. So if you're somebody who is prone to cavities and need to rebuild. So I do the same thing like I do with the caramel. I pour this into this. So I use these little glass bottles. And then, so this is like my nightly mouthwash, and I'm not allowed to do anything with it. But it keeps my teeth from going psycho when I am in the magic land going psycho. All right, let's talk about our once a month bath. Our Epsom salt bath, where we get our full spiritual initiation. This is the time that I also like to shave my legs, cut out any of the like psycho vagina hair that just crawls everywhere. I use scissors or small scissors to trim everything. Shave my armpits. Shave, okay. Once a month. And then I do my Epsom salt bath with the oil of the current Sephiroth that we're in on the new moon. But that way, At that time, I also do my nails, my toenails and my nails. So it's like initiation, initiation, initiation. It's like Ravenclaw, Ravenclaw, Ravenclaw as I cut my nails. And then everything kind of stays up to date and fresh and clean. And it's low maintenance. There are these very nice ones that cost $20. It's better than buying, and they're made out of titanium. It's better than buying the cheap ones that break. These actually do a better job and then make an actually better cut. You'll tell the difference. The price tag will be much higher, and they are very heavy and do not feel like I'm going to be able to break them just by trying to use them on my toenails or my fingernails. Okay. Makeup. Class. This is an Ascended Master class. This is not for teenagers. You are a woman. So your makeup should reflect something like Irene Adler instead of Beyonce. So light eyeshadows that are neutral, either red lips or pink lips, nude lips, and then simple foundation with a simple blush, and then a simple liquid eyeliner, and then simple but very good mascara. $100, $100, maybe $150, and then keep it in. I travel a lot, so I keep it all in a very travel-oriented box or container that I can go and move with. But everything is ordered. So that when I want to do my makeup on screen, even if I don't like makeup, I know I don't like the way it feels on my face. But when I have to present myself in that way, everything is still semi-fresh even 3 years later or 4 years later. And I only have 5 pieces of makeup. I only have 3 eyeshadows, 2 lip liners, 1 red lipstick, chapstick for a nude liner, and then I can look better than most people that just got back from having a MAC makeup makeover. Because I developed a sense of simplicity, sophistication around it. Okay? Spiritual stuff. Spiritual stuff. It's better. Okay, so some of you guys are saying, because you have a good foundation on the inside, like a good foundation. So my foundation for looking good on the outside has a lot to do with my life choices. Period. It's my meditation. It is the food I eat. It is my exercise. It is my sacrifices that I make in life. Instead of going and getting drunk and partying so I can fit into society, I'm going to go and do a metaphysical class instead. And as I evolve, so beauty starts to come through especially as you age, from all the spiritual work you do. It begins to come through. And you begin to shine. And maybe you were an ugly duckling as a child, but you cleaned out your internal organs, so then your skin got better. And then you started juicing and you took care of your body. So I'm from La Costa, and this is like the world's most beautiful and healthy people on the planet. Like, that's all they focus on. It's really cheap. It's really cheap, the way they focus on it. It's not from a spiritual level, but it still exists. Thank God for that background. I'm grateful for it because I hate that it matters in life, but it does. Because part of ascended mastery is like learning how to master the concept of beauty or presentation, or what I present to others, just like a tea ceremony. Just like my Facebook page, the pictures I choose, the words I write. Yes, I'm talking about psycho things like knife rape and all this other stuff. But there's a sense of order and impeccability with how I'm choosing to present it. Nobody would want to look at my Facebook page if there were a million pictures that just look like a dump truck. I will tell you, those are the pictures that everybody's gonna like and try to comment on. Because they're used to McDonald's. But that's not, I'm Tiffany's. I'm Fender and Tiffany's. And that's what I'm going to present, even in my being. Dragon is high quality. So blue spirulina. There was an initiation at the Blue Moon before all the knife rape, where if you had painted yourself with the clay and made it blue clay and painted yourself blue, that it would help Kali ascend you into the 8th house. Most of you guys missed this, but it's still something you might want to do. I would do it on an equinox or dragon initiations day. But there are simple things like French body clay to do. It's a grounding thing. There's nothing like painting yourself like butt naked in French body clay mixed with blue spirulina so that it's you look like a blue person. Now, if it's yellowy French body clay with the blue spirulina, it will make the clay look turquoise instead of blue. That's what happened the first time with me. It was a little too turquoisey, and so I'm going to do it again. So there are special days where I do special rituals. All right. Okay. I do not need holes in my Gryffindor socks. My Gryffindor brick building socks. So all my underwear or my socks that have holes in them go into the trash. And I want to get, and I want to get integrated into my schedule. And I'm wondering, how am I going to do it? So this component is like, how do I integrate something new when I already have a jam-packed schedule? Okay. I have this 8th house Nexa assignment. So I'm supposed to grid the planet. So I definitely do it while I'm on my walks. I clean out the hell realms on my walks. And I do my dragon cleanings on my walks. And what I do is I pick trees that represent each dragon or star system. And I do the magic to that tree for the day on my walk. I'm not joking. I had a Bagua circle or a dragon cleaning circle at Hyde Park, and I had a dragon at each section, and then a dragon tribe at each section. Oh, we're going to do the teeth cleaning today. And then I would do an hour walk meditation through those circles, and I would call out the dragon, and I would do the grid on their bodies, and I could feel it, and I would sometimes not move forward until I felt like it came through. And it created the good energy work. Oh, we're going to do those genomes today. We're going to turn off that page 1 red genomes today, and then turn on the opposite on page 1 on this dragon, this dragon, this dragon, this dragon, this tribe, this tribe, this tribe, this tribe. Okay? And I would do the same thing with the star systems. I would create the tree. That tree is Mother Andromeda. That tree is Mother Hogue. That tree is Mother Tadpole. That tree is Mother Milky Way. That tree is Arcturus. That tree is Atria. That tree is Alioth. That tree is Akama. That tree is Kelly's Antares. Or no, I'm sorry. Kelly's antenna 1, and then antenna 2, and then Kelly's other star systems, because I'm going to definitely help her out. And then we have Venus, and we have Mars, and I have to do Gaebra, like Gaebra energy I definitely have to do Saturn, and I got to do the moon. And I would do Jupiter, Ariel, the dwarf planet, etc., etc., etc. Ceres. So I would have a system set up of my responsibilities where I could begin to create my magical processes. We're going to turn on those genomes and turn off those genomes. Now I need to assign a tree to a kid that I am also gridding up and taking care of. So I create an obstacle course on my workout regime or regiment for my walk or my run. The first thing I do is go through the dragon gates, get my activation through the dragon gates. Go up, we're activating this park as Gryffindor. Then I go to the pond, and I set up the white magic Egyptian grid to make sure that 100, 200, 1,000 children are going to be taken care of on the planet. And then I go through my trees, and then I get to the end of the park, and then that's where I do my dragon circle. And then there's another water fountain that I create, my Mother Andromeda 8th house Nexa. And I do the circles around the water fountain. And then I definitely make sure that that current egg yolk is getting through on everything for the day. And I did this while I was getting knife raped by everyone, after being starved to death by everyone. Collie Run, just stop. My brick book. I'm only halfway done through my first brick book. So like half of my first brick of myself is created. I'm too busy like making sure everybody else is taken care of to even write my own brick book. So it should be the first thing I do in the day. Instead, at least I write 1 page a day, front and back. So on top of my schedule for the day and for the week, I should have my brick book with a pen. No matter what. Before I even look at my schedule, I should write my page for today. And before I even sit on my computer to get the day's downloads, I should have my brick book page and my schedule available. This is after dishwashing, probably when I'm drinking my coffee. Let me tell you about childcare. Let's put the sticks down for a minute. If there was one time saver my sister should have done, 2, I'm going to do 2, was the laundry. She needed to learn how to do her laundry for her children and not get it piled up in insane. She got it in piles so high, she had to dedicate an entire bedroom for it, and it was all over the floor. Seriously. The other was the dirty diapers and dealing with them. What she should have done was buy 3 or 4 of those metal trash cans that have covers and lids, and then have them all over the house. So that no matter what, it was simple and easy to throw the diapers away. And then you take it out. But people refuse to do the simplest setup of the environment to create a sense of harmony in their existence. They refuse. I know better. Okay, so I go on my walks. I find these sticks, and I want to make them into wands. And they're sticks that were fallen or came from a cut down tree that was slaughtered by the royal family, etc., etc., etc. Okay, so I go through the tape surrounded the caution, bad environment tape, and I go and I collect the stick so I can make a wand. And I get the solid ones that look like they'll make perfect wands. And I remember what type of tree it was, even if it was cut down, because it was usually a tree I acknowledged or saw. that nobody really even cared about. So I cry, and then I retrieve what I can to make a wand. But they collect in my home, and I haven't really made them. I haven't made the time to make them. So I identify them with their name, so I remember what it was. So like this was a red this was a red oak, and the name of this one's Gabera. Sometimes I won't remember the names of my wands or the tree that it came from, so I tag them as they collect, because there's a story and a memory attached to when I retrieved these wands. So this is cherry. It's from a cherry tree. This is my first cherry wand. And I knew it was cherry because it was underneath the cherry trees in bloom. It was a fallen piece, and I remember the state of being I was in when I was collecting it. And so there's so much memory. And the title is Live. Like, why are we even doing this? What's the point of all of this work? It's to live. It's to live. So it's Live, the Chariot is the name of this wand. Here's another red oak. And this it's from the same as the Gabera. Red, like blue people sacred. And the reason why we named it, this was one of the first trees that I collected it. That was a fallen tree. That was a fallen tree instead of a cut down tree. So it was a reminder, like the blue people would collect from fallen trees all of their wood. The Na'vi would not slaughter a tree if they needed to build a house. They would collect instead. So this will be a crooked wand, but it will still be fun. And this is so much more important than making a wand to sell. Because this wand, it's like making a sword. It's like making the sword of Gryffindor. Or Excalibur. Maybe not that good. But the story, it's a being from a living creature that meant everything. This one's called Yoda Balls, so I tagged it with stuff. DNA, Gryffindor, Slytherin into Gryffindor DNA. And then clip on the Yoda Balls into Bina. It's a weird way to tag it. But when I went through Hyde Park drawing on the cement that Elijah Wood was a knife rapist and a murderer, I had this wand with me, and it was in the bag, in my rainbow bag. And I think I had collected it earlier that day. Maybe, maybe not. But there's so much memory attached because I was going through the park thinking I'm probably going to get arrested doing this. Writing all of this stuff in chalk, okay? And I'm also out at night in the park where it's also illegal for me to be there. And so I'm very skittish at the time, feeling ninja, and I lose Yoda Balls. And then I have to go and I have to find, at the end when I'm done, and I realize I lost Yoda Balls, I have to go find Yoda Balls again. And so I had to remember where was the last time that I was drawing and writing all that stuff. So so that people would see. So there's just so much story that comes with this in my life. Okay. So my question is, how do I fit that into my schedule? And I don't know. How do I fit making my wands into this schedule? And there's no answer yet. So that's part of the magic we're going to create for the home and homekeeping. We talked about the last thing is masterclass or knowledge to come in through. So I was in the middle of 10 different online courses in the earlier part of this class, and all of that has faded away because now I have to do dragon books. And that's life now, isn't it? You have to create an entire new schedule for something you need, and you cancel out the thing that was actually important to you. It was important for me to do Hermione's class review and read and listen and write and integrate these master classes. And that's fallen to the wayside. So how do I bring that back in? And I'm getting to the point where maybe it's after I do all these books. Maybe I segment one more hour at the end of the day that I do master class at the end. Before I go to bed, so I can have deeper night school with those new teachings that come through. So you need always to have new stuff to be digested. Now, if you guys think I am your masterclass also, but I'm just one person, I'm just one angle. I'm just Hermione. Hermione is nothing without all of Ravenclaw. And remember that. The last thing on the list is bills paid on time. I have no money right now. None. I have had almost no money for the last 2 years, 3 years. And I have bills. So I'm obviously a failure right now. So some of you guys might be feeling that way. And that's okay. We're going to do what we can to get back on top from the bottom. There was a time in my life I was very good with bills. It was when I was 18. And it was when I never oversold myself. And I was very humble about my spending and my money. I worked at Hooters. I made a couple thousand a month while I was finishing high school. And I was living in my own apartment that I had to pay the bills for. And I had a car, and so I was 18. And what I would do is I'd get a bill in the mail, and I had a P.O. box. And I would pay it that day. When I went to go collect my mail, I would sit there with my checkbook, and I would pay my bill the day I received it. And then nothing was late, and then everything got done on time. That pattern stayed with me through the end of college and after, and I got such good credit that I had like $25,000 credit limit on credit cards when I made $30,000 a year. So you understand. And then I went insane. And then I had to file for bankruptcy. And I did. Now, with the spiritual stuff coming through, it's very challenging because I feel like I need to be doing this instead of getting a job just to pay my bills. And that's the decision I chose. And I made that choice so you guys didn't have to in that kind of way. Because I am Archangel Kamael. And I had to take the worst of the worst of the worst hits in life. Your guys' job is to learn how to pay your bills where it's eco-friendly. And you guys get educated for free because I paid hundreds of thousands of dollars to psychotic Slytherin psychopath cunts. And you will be educated in an enlightened way instead of getting knife raped. That's what I am presenting to the table. So that Teresa Ibis can live in her suburban home with her mother and her father while making thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars that she throws down the drain by renting out a Mysterium home shop and supporting a sex cult to do it. So I made sacrifices to create a Pandora unity consciousness, no backhanded psycho stuff. I'm not perfect, but there are things that I will not do to you guys that have been done to me. So, bills paid on time. We're praying for the ability to do it and get back into that 18-year-old capacity where we can be on top of our own finances in life. And if we have to file for bankruptcy to do it, then we do. And that's okay. Oh my God, that's okay. Filing for bankruptcy is a Gryffindor motto in life. It does not eat at your soul like a Slytherin might present to you. It is a grace instead. And I need you to know that. I did not get knife raped because I filed for bankruptcy. I got knife raped because credit card companies won't even help me out 1 inch after I starved to death on a beach for whales. They won't. All they're going to do is up my interest to 30%. Where I can't even pay anything, even though I have nothing. After I starved to death on a beach for whales. Fucking reptiles. Burn. You have now gotten almost every single fun hack of home care, schedule, and maintenance that I have to offer. I am a master. I am a master. I am able to be a recruiting coordinator doing 100 interviews a week, doing a design job, and getting all the Dragon Kabbalah knowledge at the same time. Teaching, while still being able to go and hang out with my nieces. Oh wait, I have 5 classes that week of workout and exercise. I am a master. It is no joke. I am the kind of person, as a recruiting coordinator, that when there's a fire alarm and April Hilliard is stuck in a yard and she has 3 interviews left for the day, that on her iPhone, the entire person that she is supposed to call, when they are supposed to call it, and the phone number is already in her possession. So that when the shit hits the fan, she is able to do everything and the resume is attached. At that moment, she was like, "Are you sure you want to leave this job?" And I go, "Yeah. I have to go be a shaman." Because recruiting coordinating is nothing. It's nothing. It's an income when I have to take care of a planetary ascension. That everyone has forgotten we're doing. Devil Wears Prada times a million. Personal assistants will do very well climbing the tree. They get nothing and they give everything. Recruiting coordinators, nurses, same thing. It's the service positions where you're shat on all day, receive almost no money, and have to present and present and present and do the impossible and present and present and present and do the impossible and then get shit on and then get fired because you didn't do it well enough, even though you did 500 times the job like that person did. Oh, it's because they didn't like you. I just see Kelly flying when she gets this mental body going. I'm really excited. I want Isla to have it times a billion. Okay. Through the spine. You're going to see the metal grid wrapping around your spine and around the tail, going all the way up your cervical vertebrae and into your brain. And then it expands out and it fills through your entire body. Through every hand, finger, fingernail, cell in your body, through the feet. And maybe it will start even out some of your asymmetry. Or it says I give too much, I receive too little. That's okay. I just hear Elijah saying, I can see you. And I go, fuck you, doubt it. Times a billion. I asked his friend for a job, and his friend rolled his eyes at me. Like, I'm the most overqualified, highly employable person on the planet. And then he rolled his eyes at me. And so you're going to see it showing up as an egg. This is to remind you, like, get out of your ego. Like, you're just a baby at this. That's for me. So you guys definitely have it. You'll find the perfect cheap soap. You'll integrate the wands. Like, you're just a baby. If you're going to be a personal assistant, be a personal assistant to yourself and to your children. Be a personal assistant to your own ascendio. When I was a waitress, it was the same thing. I was the one who always, like, washed out all the buckets and, like, everything. And you're going to pour on the black plasma tar. It's more like black tourmaline. It's Malkuth. But Bina Malkuth. We're going to do a reset. You can let go of everything you've ever done. This is the appropriate death grid. You master schedules and home care. Health and fitness seems easy. You let it get into your back. And it might be mixing with tiger eye yolk coming through. You can look like shit or be invisible. Be invisible doing everything. Homekeeping is an invisible art. You definitely know when somebody doesn't have that skill. Definitely. But when somebody does, you don't think about it. My mother had that skill, but not in like, I will set the space of transcendence. More like I will set the space for it to be clean. So she was missing the rug that would create a magic, or the art that should be perfectly set on that wall. She didn't have that sense. But she mastered linens and bed making and vacuuming. And kitchen sink is perfect. And there was no grime on the walls or the floor. And laundry was well done. And the bed looked like it was made from a military professional, because she was both medical professional and military together. So that she's still a cruel, cruel person. So we know that's not everything. But we need it. We're going to put the Petri dish goo on the outside of egg and let it kind of sink in. And then you might see the grow organically with time. But we're on the Petri dish goo. We're going to go all of Kali Run's knowledge and homekeeping magic or more. So that's the charm we want. Kali Run's homekeeping charm or more. There may be some people that are better. More ninja. The key is, how do I master simplicity? Like food, but with the best flavor. So it's not just an apple. It's the perfect caramel apple with pecans or walnuts on the outside. And then we pour on the virtue juice. So we make sure we don't get greedy in home maintenance. And the intelligentsia goo. The key is to live like man on fire, but be a girl and be able to bring people to your home and impress them. Where it feels zen and warm and like magic. So they want to come to your home for healing or for love or for a class, even if you had a studio apartment, that they'd rather come to your home for a 10-hour class than go anywhere else. That's the key. And I have this grid. So the Khaleesi temple is built like that too. You might want to pour on gray paste, like gray Khaleesi temple paste or better. Because that's like starting to build your own or renovate your own home. And ask for a more eco-friendly version of it. Khaleesi temple or better. At least the wood floors we installed were like from a farm that was for harvesting. It wasn't like wild cut trees, but still, it's gross. Okay. We're going to put the colors of the Khaleesi temple wall. We're going to paint that into our egg. And it's Cinderella blue with Daenerys blue and then Dragon Queen purple. Dragon Queen purple looks like dark purple with gray in it. It's deep and classy. Deep grayish violet. And we're going to put that wood floor, the acacia wood floor panels at our feet. We go, that or something better. And then we pour on the moss agate, grow organically with Time Charm again. Then we're going to pour on the Gramercy Charm, because that's another temple I built. The 1746 Gramercy Charm. The Lava Goddess Gramercy Charm. Pour that one on. Okay. And then we go Intelligentsia, more integration. Petri dish goo. And it should be volcanoing out through the bottom of your dragon tail. Somebody says, if you're homekeeping from the bottom of the clippeth, you're probably doing really well in life. Instead of writing Yoda Ball's books like a psycho, where you're still in self-defense mode. Jennifer Hamlin once wrote something on Facebook that I saw. But there's a wisdom that when the shit hits the fan, just doing your laundry, there's a sense of peace and grace and a wisdom attached to doing such grounded work that brings you back to Zen. I have felt nothing other than that in my life. It's part of the reason that I have held on for so long. Any other homekeeping wisdom charm? There's like ivory. It's like the color that Irene Adler is standing on in front of right now. There's an ivory charm. Irene Adler's closet or something better. Like, if I could live like that, man, that'd be awesome. What would it take to be able to get there? That's the question. Where it's eco-friendly, no karmic return, and I can still be a ninja. Okay. And then we're going to pour on orange juice or orange juice gels on top of that. And it just reminds us, hode, better hode, better hode, better hode. It goes through all the neural parts of our brain. Hode. And then through our bones, that orange juice and the orange gels. You might feel a reset. Like a lot of drama came up, and now it's grounded charm, grounded charm, grounded charm. If you're going to run a farm or a school or a hostel or a healing center, you need this knowledge. You need this mastery 100 times over. Like, okay. I have a massage therapist named Yvonne Larson. She's one of the only people I want to ever touch my body, ever. She's not pervy. She is not low vibe. She's in Los Angeles. And to meet her, I would go to a Oasis Healing Center or something like that. I forget. And she had, at the ceiling, she had a mural of koi fish. So there is a sense of meditative murals that needs to be in the required homekeeping knowledge. So as she's doing massages, I'm looking at the koi fish all day long, or for that hour. While I'm getting my massage. Now, in the Kabbalah school, we will have these murals because we'll have a room for each like activation, but each sepharith will have a specific mural added to it. So there's a sense of knowledge in the feng shui of room building for developing education and meditative space. So we need that. Okay. Now we paint that jelly on. Then rugs. Oh no. Rug knowledge. There is a Swedish rug maker that does all the sacred geometry rugs named Inga something. I'll put her on my YouTube link. But those rugs, specific rugs with specific magic, brings the elemental energy of a space up by 10. Same with painted on wall mural stickers, something like that, of like the flower of life, or like a fairy with so easy, so inexpensive. And it usually doesn't look cheap if you do it well. So murals, artwork, and painting with the rugs. Homekeeping. I'm hearing, Kali Ren, just stop. We fucking murdered you. Yes, but life still goes on, doesn't it, now, anyway. Times your egg by 50. But because God is forgiving, you guys get away with it. At all price. Kelly didn't murder me. There are people that didn't murder me, you know? Elaine did not murder me. Stacy came along and set the grid so that we could get out of knife rape. So thank God for that. The Tara did not murder me. You know what she did? She lava charmed everything so that we could burn through knife rape. She showed up before my hunger strike on the beach where I did it, so we could set the grid with deep root chakra activation. With this Spielberg unicorn and with Mizanic and stuff, we all set that grid for the Harvest Moon Youthing ceremony. That grid was to protect me. and move everything forward in life. And then we all get healthier and healed. And then even Chavez was there. It was a great harvest moon eating ceremony, and I was all about the root chakra. Okay, so we have those 50 layers set out. And then we put on the Ravenclaw lasagna, but with the Gryffindor lava honeycomb. And then somebody says we're going to do both. That's accurate. And then we have to get that 50 layers out. Okay. And then we're going to pour on the blue Ravenclaw gel through each of those layers. And then we have the pearl inlays on those Ravenclaw blue gels. 50 layers. Getting all that gross stuff out. Get it out. And now we're going to coat in the cyan wake up gels in the 50 layers of that. Fill in the gaps. And then light up the Ravenclaw blue gels with the cyan fire. Wake up to that. Now, from our spinal column, all the way down past our dragon tail and all the way up, 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 up. We're going to porcupine out through that egg. Going outward. Some people, some of you guys feel like you guys did not murder me at all, but that you've been murdered. So I know. And we just recover. In life, we recover. And we get back on the horse. And then we ride. Okay. Make sure the lower porcupines are going through that egg. We're going to cover all these wires with an orange jelly. Some people are saying the Protego Totalum charm. That too. But make sure it has the little cobra acid beads to eat out any knife rape. Okay. And then we have the Protego Totalum charm going through our grid. And then we coat that in orange goo gel. So it's cubes. So creating stability and practicality. And order. Now, each intersect, there is a red octahedron. If you know what an octahedron, I'm sorry. The pyramid on top of a pyramid, and they're red. And they could be coated in gels, red gels. Maybe you want them to be like Gryffindor egg looking octahedron. So it's like right action. Yay, light language 1. Make sure it's all the way beneath your feet, right action. Remember, it's A&R level or above. That's the intent of right action. Gryffindor level right action or above. Then we're going to paint on soil, an earth element, into this grid. And then we're going to put that candy apple red on the outside of the egg, and we're going to have a dragon set it on fire. Maybe we put some Ravenclaw blue sparkle dusts on the burnt crisp. I'm feeling the mental body for the health. It's like the health body is being activated. What about homekeeping body? I'm being told it's got a set. Okay, so we need to coat it in the petri dish on the outside. Maybe we put 50 more layers on the inside. And then we put like lime balls in the petri dish. Like, get out of denial about all those things. Maybe they grow organically with time charm. With some dots of intelligence, yeah. And then we do another layer of the Ravenclaw blue gels. And then the Ravenclaw blue on the outside. The Ravenclaw lasagna, the pearl with the hot pink paste on the outside. This frees us up some delusions of grandeur. It's like I can't even do my own hair for a video. I understand the delusions of grandeur. So that level of humility, we should have that humility in our life. Somebody says, I can't pay my bills on time because I don't have the mental capacity to pay it when the bill comes. And that's true. That's life. So, like, mentally and emotionally, we get there in life. So, it's to heal those spaces. All right. For healing the poison oak, it required almost nothing out of the norm other than washing my hands every day, 3 times a day. Maybe putting band-aids on the blisters that I don't want to be spewed everywhere. And then putting lotion on. It was nothing. And the idea that my mother buys a special soap just to rid the poison oak, but leaves me to starve to death on a beach for whales is bizarre. Collie Wren out.